Yeah, but you
If
know
you're
that there's
if
so
you're reading
many.
if you're reading it along with the adjoining case law and trying to understand in which how in which it works today, it's a little bit more complicated. But like actually reading the physical document, it's really not that hard.
That's what I'm saying. Like, read it, but some links actually let you click to the case laws and stuff. Like, they hope you get there. You have no reason to be this willfully stupid.
This code into Zoom. Do you have the app or are you on the online
I'm
browser?
on the app.
I'm talking to DMAC. He ain't got his email. I've sent it to him twice. The Gmail plan. They don't want us to be great. They do not want us to be great.
We still gonna be great anyway, because
Right.
I'm glad this ain't a topic about what I see black men doing to black women right now, because
Listen,
I'm
we
just gonna
listen.
I'm gonna
Listen.
put this on the record. I want
Supplies
it
and
I want it
stamps.
to
I'm
I want it
planning
to be
November
on the
content.
record.
Put it on the record
I'm
because
gonna
we're gonna talk about
hold it then.
in the vote too. Because I
I'm
think
gonna
the
try.
way the misogyny is showing up and them siding with the white supremacists is crazy.
Beyond belief. Oh,
So we gonna have to see. We're
can we
gonna have
talk
to
about how LaRon Singletary, who was the police chief up in Rochester, he was in charge of several incidents that happened up there, and they fired him. One of the most notable ones was David Perdue, who he was going through a mental health crisis. He was naked in the streets. The police thought he was, of course, what? On drugs. He wasn't. They took his life. Guess who's running for Senate? Leroy Singleton, LaRon Singletary. I said, I'll be now without people knowing this about you. You got mad because you got fired. Dude, more than one person died under your leadership, and it was a person of color, because there was another black guy that died that would face a similar situation. They don't care. They just
they
want the
don't
numbers.
and they know that the masses won't care and they don't need to do much more than what it is they're already doing because
I think
it's
they're
worked so
banking on it
well.
too. It is, but I think they're banking on it too hard, though. You don't think?
I, I honestly, if you had asked me this question like a year ago, I would have been like, no, they shouldn't be banking on it. They should be shaking in their boots. But today, November 6th, 2022, I don't think I have faith in the masses, honestly.
You
I
don't
don't
think?
think
I
I have
mean,
faith in them
we've
and move accordingly. I don't think that we as a greater society have the wherewithal to actually create greater change. And that may be kind of pessimistic, but I don't know. That's just where I'm at right now.
I mean, I'm trying to be positive. I'm looking at the fact that the numbers so far, early voting has already exploded past what happened previously. And it seems to be that it's caught the attention. People are not ignoring. It's hard to ignore some of the things that are going on because they're so blatant that it's just like I I don't know if I can not say nothing. Like, who in your family does not have anything to say about what's going on? Like, absolutely nothing.
I mean, I think for me, I may have a more intimate relationship with that. It was my great grandmother's birthday yesterday. She turned 95
Oh,
and
happy.
she grew
Huh?
up in Oak Ridge, Louisiana. Her
Ooh,
mother was from there, her kids were born there. And it
ooh.
wasn't until my grandfather at 19 left home to move to Seattle that we moved out of that area. And so to this day, she goes out and she votes. I'm not going to let her down. It would be entitled of me to have living history of a person that was alive when it was illegal for her to vote.
Yeah.
As a woman and as a Black woman, for me not to think that I have some responsibility in engaging in this, and I mean personally, I studied politics in college for a reason.
Yeah.
So, I mean personally, but it's just like, as a greater Black community, it's like, we may not be seeing what we want to see materialize right now, but for people that we can look to and talk to have gone through that grueling work to give us the right to vote, and for us to not want to engage like it's not something that's affecting us, is ridiculous.
Yeah, we can't. I feel like we have no justification, no reason, no justification, no nothing, and what I've been saying to people on my page as a few weeks ago was, it's only going to continue to get worse. So y'all have a decision to make, meaning all the cotton balls and all the cotton swabs and all the PWCs out there. You're either going to listen to brown, Black, and indigenous people, because we don't walk this walk since slavery supposedly ended. Let's start with Black codes. So y'all can't say anything to us. I feel intimidated. What? They used to come to our houses.
Okay.
Like, and drag you out and jail you. I mean,
that report we watched a couple weeks ago with Fannie Lou Hamer, she went to register to vote and she said, what? Her house was burned down, 9 times?
And they burned the church down. Do you remember when she announced her formal candidacy?
Right after,
they burned the church down. For
having a political rally.
Yes.
Burn the church down.
But they'll be upset.
Because I don't necessarily agree with the people that may be on the ballot, even though the ballot is bigger than just politicians. I'm not going to go vote.
Say that too.
I don't see someone that I like on the ballot.
I've had to say to people,
because I'm already on Coco.
Oh, okay. I might get off here in a little bit. I'm losing track of time. I do an intro. We were just talking. I forgot to do an intro. Well, hello, YouTube. I don't even know if anyone's here. I'm over here editing the description. Hello.
We're fine.
With their conversation with Coco. I'm your host, Coco, and today we'll be talking about the 2020 midterm election that is happening in 2 days, checking in with my lovely panelists here about what their feelings are, what's going on in your neck of the woods. I know we're all in different states. So lots of things happening. So we'll go around, get a little brief introduction, what interested you about this conversation, and we can dive back into our conversation because we were going to talk about that anyway. So
yeah. I mean, I'm Sunny Laluz. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I didn't say anything.
Oh no, I said John. Go ahead.
Oh, that was Coco. I was like, I'm sorry.
To use too much over here. My bad.
Sunny Laluz and all of my social media platforms. You can find me exactly at Sunny Laluz. There's only one of me. You can also Google my business, Sunny Laluz LLC, activism. And that's the main thing I focus on, but it's expansive. People think too small when they think about those, so I'll be expanding upon those. What interests me about this topic, I am done living in insanity, and people have got to take what's going on seriously. We have to get out and vote. Have to. Because I don't know if our democracy will hold if January 6th was just the dry run. That's just being honest.
My name is David Winston. You can find my social medias, especially on TikTok, is DMAC5x5. On Instagram, it's DMAC __photo. Um, as of right now, I'm not doing I haven't finished getting my own business off the ground as of yet, so I'm still working for the corporate world as of right now. But I'm gonna get there. I'm making moves to
Yes, you
start doing
are.
that now. So
Yes, you are.
so I'm starting. I'm starting, and because I'm reaching that age where I'm just like, you know what? I don't like answering to people. I don't. And the reason, come on now, we all reach that age where we're just like,
Listen, I know. I know.
so, the reason I'm interested in this topic, I would say for the most part at this point in time, it's too important to not realize that
Yeah.
we need to show up and fire these people.
Come on, that you used the right word. Fired. They are employees. We pay their salary.
Because I'm like,
Fired.
so there's a woman on TikTok and I love her. I love her. This is my girl. This is my go-to whenever I want something about voting and anything. I'm gonna remember her name probably as soon as I stop talking about it. But her favorite catchphrase is "vote ho," and I love it. I love it. I was just like, thank you. Simplify it for them so that they can understand.
Vote ho. Wait, you
Because
ain't here. You ain't here. Did y'all see, by the way, this reminds me of Jennifer Lewis a couple weeks ago. She was doing a signing. She was like, your ass is better get the fuck out there and vote. Don't let me the fuck down. She doing songs and everything. Sorry. All that words, my bad. But she was singing a song. What you want from me? She was cussing everybody out, told them don't play with me. I ain't lived this long to have y'all play around. I was like, yes, ma'am.
I'm a find this girl because I want to make sure everybody go out there because she's really good. She even got they even had somebody in her state try and check her on the facts that she already had, and she's like, you know what? See, I'm not going to even be funny. I'm just going to give you the facts and go about my business. I was like, I can't deal with you,
Yeah.
man. It's like I cannot deal with you. You gonna get us in trouble.
But I feel like those are the conversations we don't have. Why should we pay? I hate playing politics. The whole game of politics is what I feel like we're watching one
Mhm.
side do. And the other side is like, we can't meet people if we continue to play politics. So when I now see politicians who are like, yo, why you over here licking the ex-president's boots and kissing his A and stuff? I'm over here doing hard work, da da da. And I'm like, yo, they can't say nothing to that. Like I saw the debate myself when they're
Like
calling them directly out for their records.
when Stacey Abrams handed him his face, I was like, see, this is why you shouldn't mess with black women. This is exactly why. Because just like Claire Huxtable, when she told her daughter, you owe us $79,642.22, I was like,
And you felt her hair
not
move.
do not mess with black women because they are a human calculator, especially when you owe them money. Don't do it.
Don't do it to yourself. Well, facts and money and stuff. Don't play with us because we will find it. We will find it. We'll put it on blast. Everything else. Because I just posted where the whole, we were just, Coco and I were talking about Scalise. When Scalise was shot,
Yep.
right? It was condemned across the board. I did not see not one person, not one, turn around and say, they didn't condemn it. They all condemned. News stations condemned it. I remember it because I remember that the people who saved his life were what? Black people. I'm not going to digress. It was Black officers that saved his life and saved the day that day.
Yep.
But this go around, I just posted like Tom. His name is Tom Emmer. He is the chairman of the GOP campaign ads, and he dropped a he said it's not an ad, it's an ad, and it's a subtle threat to Nancy Pelosi. And it's him shooting it at the range, shooting an automatic, saying fire Pelosi. And I'm like, you're gonna do this after her house was broken into?
Oh, they thought it
After
was
her
his
husband,
gay lover. That's what they think.
all of that is disgust. I'm not all of that. I'm not down for it. And people who are doing those types of things have mental illness. I said what I said, and I'm saying it out loud.
Yep.
It takes
No.
a mentally ill person to not have no compassion whatsoever. He's an old man. He 82 years old.
And to get clocked in the head like that with a hammer, yeah, nah, that you ain't walking that off.
It's gonna take him a while. She's lucky that they are lucky that he's still alive. And you know what they want to blame it on? Well, he overstayed his welcome from Canada. It's Canada. It's can't. Don't make an enemy. It can't stop it.
Leave
It's
Canada
Canada.
out of this. Canada
It's
had nothing
Canada.
to do with this. Leave Canada
No,
out.
this is why I believe in strong borders. Again, leave Canada out of this.
Canada don't want to come here.
They don't
Listen,
even want us
They don't
there.
understand we the ghetto.
And they say that. When I
We are
watch
the ghetto.
news from other countries outward looking in, the stuff they said, they're like, what is wrong with them? They want
think
to
we
know
are
what
a
is
bunch
wrong
of
with
hood
them.
rats.
99 cents to feed a child a day commercials is going up in other countries. Was that Sweden? They had them commercials talking about helping an American child eat for 79 cents a day.
Good Lord.
Yeah,
I
another
can't.
they're doing it in Germany too. Someone from Germany sent me a link a while ago. They do it in Germany.
I can't.
But that was still, it was still no better than that child saying that they have schools where they play dodgeball and not dodge bullets. I said, girl, you was lucky I wasn't there. You was lucky I wasn't
couldn't.
there. You lucky. Because it wouldn't have been me. Because I would have pulled up and I says, so you, ma'am, really got some words out here sitting here saying, oh, but we don't got we got schools that they ain't got dodge bullets. Really? So you thought that was the best thing to do? You thought that was
no.
Okay. I was like, okay, girl. Okay.
Mm,
Then try to make
was
two
like,
Apollo live videos. And I was just like, Jesus, let me not say nothing. Let me keep my business. Let me not do it to myself.
I try not to be the person that's yelling at my phone. And when I realized that every take that I had, because my granddaughter is 8.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? Nobody, unless you have younger children, my children are adults, but my grandbaby is 8. Uvalde happened. She can tell you when she was 5 and 6, she was telling me how they hide. She said, we learned a new game.
Let me pull up at the heartstrings right quick. We pull up the heartstrings right one time for the
Go
one
ahead,
time.
girl. Go ahead.
First of all, look at this picture I shared on the screen. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Like, does it not just warm your heart?
Get it. I just saw the poster. I was like, yes.
Come on.
Yes. I'm here for it.
First of all, our little Black girls are growing up in a world where they can go to school.
Yes.
And be unalived in mass with other small children, go home, be unalived by some unstable person in their family, or go and be abused at home by an unstable person in their family. Okay. Not protected, not respected. How can we not show up for these little Black girls?
That's how I just, I'm talking. I've been. I can't. I'm there. I look at my granddaughter and she's my opposite. I'm mostly Taino and Black, and she's my polar opposite, where she's more Black than Taino. How could I look at her and talk to her about history and about culture and stuff like that, and talk about voting? Because she we had a conversation. She was like, ew, Trump is a mean bully. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. How could I tell her I'm not going to go out here and fight for her? How could I look at my sons? Because they're still in their 20s. How do I look at them and say, I'm just going to stay silent? I can't do that. I
And then the
can't.
opposite, the other end of that conversation is, well, I'm not going to do anything. I'll let them handle it when they get older. Why are we allowing them to continue to inherit the shit that we can fix now?
And
They don't have to
my
inherit
thing.
bullshit. Like they don't have to inherit
They don't.
this the way it is.
See,
They
the
can
pro-
inherit something better and go far beyond our thoughts and imagination. They can do all of that. Why are we handing off to them something that has been broken in this way for so long? Why?
We can't let this goes back to our conversation. We can't look at our folk that fought so hard. They're still living. They experienced this life, and we're gonna look at them. Selma. All I picture is Selma when they and all the pictures from that. And John Lewis passed not that long ago. This is what another member of the Big Sis passed it not that long ago. I can't look at what we had last week and be like, nah, I mean, I talk about it, but I'm not about to walk this walk. No, everybody, we all walking this walk. My kids already voted. I voted. My son's girlfriend voted. We understand. We understand.
And see, this is why, because like I was watching, what was it? I think it was on YouTube. No, it was on TikTok. Somebody had shared the whole, well, not all of the debate between her and that Belland, and she
Cool. Which one?
literally, oh God, what is her name? The one
Is
in the
it
picture. The one in the picture.
Stacey Abrams.
Yeah, Stacey.
Oh, Stacey Abrams. I was like, which one? Val Demonsy? Like, which one? Which Stacey?
Listen, Val, look, Val. I went to early voting, girl. Okay.
So wait,
Val lit up Marco Rubio like he was so he did not know what to do with himself. I swear if he could have ran out of there, he would have, because she made him.
so is there anybody running for governor down in Florida, or is that not race not coming this year?
To Seaton.
No. Look, Charlie. Charlie, we pulling through for you, my dude. Listen, we gotta get the Satan the fuck up out of here, bro.
So
Weren't
wait,
they
who?
all stomping the ground at the same time? Like, what happened? Wasn't there something that happened? Now, Chris Christie, he was Chris something. He was the governor before, and now
so
he's
Charlie
stepping
was
back
the
in.
governor before. Yes, he's a Democratic governor from before. He's running again. He won the primary. So I mean, the early voting. I mean, we're a swing state, so we're
Okay, so I have a question.
The in-person voters.
So
Yeah.
see, this is where I say, like, anybody who votes for the minor, or like the third party person in this, I'm just like, if that person doesn't get enough votes, those votes should go to the next person. Just
but here's the thing. I like that you brought attention to that. You see how these numbers really that far off from these numbers?
Yeah.
Now imagine if the people that are sitting the fuck out voted this way. Now, if we could get a third person that we all agree on, that would really be something.
I would appreciate that.
We really need the people.
Mm-hmm.
It would take the amount of grassroots efforts that have been running through my mind of how to get that third person. It's completely doable because it's happening in one of the states right now. He is whipping the hind parts of his Republican challenger. Is that Mark Kelly? That's getting his it's not Mark Kelly. Mike Lee is getting his hand parts handed to him by independent, a very strong independent. He made him look like a whole fool.
I just say this because I'm in Connecticut and there are 3 candidates in my state right
There are a
now,
few with 3, yeah.
and I'm still
I
not
was gonna
sure.
ask why your number is so low, but I'm a little slow, so.
Yeah, I'm for the most part we got nothing really but old people and then
5
young
people there,
people.
so. Y'all got 5 people.
Shade, shade.
Y'all real small.
You know
sorry.
what?
See, I didn't even shade. I didn't say nothing. I'm gonna stay over here. I'm gonna stay over here.
You know
I
what?
have
You
no
know, Miss
shade.
Thing.
Every vote counts.
I have no
Make
shade.
You be wrong.
don't make me send Mr. Satan back into his spot,
Please
ma'am.
don't. Oh my God. I hope he get fired so bad.
You know what
I
he
really
you know what he
want him to
just
I will
did.
go down to Tallahassee and pack his bags for him. You need some help. Let's get you
And you
the
know
fuck
what
up out of here.
you know what he just did.
What did he do?
Just made this big speech about basically letting everyone know loudly how transphobic he is.
So he
And I
likes
was
trans.
just
He
like,
likes trans people on the side.
We
Then
did pass the "Don't Say Gay" bill,
but that's
so,
still wrapped up. Isn't that still some of the stuff
yeah.
that he has enacted is still tied up in the courts? All of it's not gotten through.
I think that's the other thing people miss. It's like, yes, that's the other thing. I think we have to have
They don't check.
maybe a civics kind of lesson, because yes, the legislator can pass things, but they
Right.
could still be sued for and be unconstitutional. So it's
And
like,
he's being sued.
I don't.
well, he's already got one lawsuit.
He's doing so great. He's doing great things for the state of Florida and doing. What is he doing besides getting y'all tied up in litigation? That sounds like spending more money.
And suffering the worst. What y'all trying to be COVID again? Y'all trying to be where? I mean, there's plenty of gay people that live down there. There's plenty of older people that live down there, stuff like that. But you have enough people. They have a large Venezuelan population. You sent immigrants, legal migrants. They were here legally. You flew them in the middle of and dropped them in the middle of Martha's Vineyard, and you lied to them.
They was gonna do something about it. Do they not know?
And then what they were surprised about, I think what they were surprised about is the fact that Martha's Vineyard turned around and said, the lady who was talking to the reporters, I swear, her whole head.
She was about to explode.
She was about to, her whole face was as red as her hair. And she was just like, we are not dealing with this. They filed lawsuits for the migrant workers against DeSantis. How you going to make up for that Venezuelan vote?
He don't understand. I think they understand, and I think they don't care, but
They don't care.
Us outside of politics need to understand the difference between Republicans and Democrats is that the Democrats is the party of optics. They only want to do things to the extent in which it makes them look good. But if they were actually productive, would we not have more things? Would we not have, more laws that protect our trans children? Will we not have laws that codify our interracial and same-sex marriages? They're not the better party. They just like to do things that make them look good.
Because it is part of their responsibility was to codify all those laws. Now
they could have did that shit. They could have did that shit before. They could have
long time ago.
Good opportunity in June and did nothing.
Now we here.
The moment that decision dropped, they should have emergency special session. Let's get this codified, but they didn't. What you got?
I'm just putting my hand up, so I want to overspeak.
It's a free flowing conversation. Just
But
hop in, hop
but
out.
see, here's my thing, and here's where I really want people to understand. So people who are watching, um, we really need to let these especially these Republicans know, and Democrats
Mhm.
to a certain extent, because if we push out all these Republicans out of these seats, we need to let them know that we can do the same thing to you, Democrats, if you don't follow through. And see,
Period.
that's the problem. They have
Yeah.
no follow through. And I'm just like, you're going to keep making these promises and see somebody going to come up with a third party and be like, look, let's get this thing done.
They already started. They already started. There are people trying to come up with the third party. And my whole thing is this: get out. Get out. You don't want to do what you're supposed to do. We can't function as a society the way that y'all have us going. We can't function like this. Things are exploding left, right. If I see one more mass shooting, one more, every day I wake up and there's mass shootings. Every single day, Philadelphia has gotten very bad.
And
Very,
that's
very
supposed to be
bad.
the city of brotherly love. Yeah.
Not at the moment. And
Not
somebody actually had the nerve to say, I mean, I don't think of Philadelphia as being part of Pennsylvania. Of course, it was a
Oh my
PWC cotton
goodness.
swab that had probably never been around the area. It's not the point. These things are happening all over the place. Come on, Uvalde out of all
See,
places
that's the
in the
thing.
entire.
They love to pull out that black on black crime, which is like,
And
I
I'm
need
like,
y'all to
stop mentioning
understand.
Chicago. Stop.
I need
Leave
that
Chicago
too.
alone.
It don't even be Chicago. It'd be a suburb of Chicago, but all they know is Chicago.
And I'm
But
like,
not like that. I need them to understand that gun violence is gun violence. And
Yep.
yes, there may be a problem amongst people in the hood and poverty doing things people in poverty do. But when are you going to address your sons coming to school and making 14 to 50 families have to grieve the loss of a child?
like
Oh, because
think about those parents
Oh, I want
now.
to say, oh, there's a question. My bad, y'all. Our cameras are off. So that's why you can't see who's talking.
I have a picture up
Sorry,
that said
y'all.
I was not
My
I was
bad.
not I was not picture ready today.
So
Oh, I'm
yeah,
the
y'all can
only
just hear
brave.
us. Y'all can just hear us. Let me put something on the screen though. I'll try to look for something else to put on the screen.
So I'm the
So
only
that
one who's brave enough to shade.
right. So brave.
Listen, I didn't have enough time. It was wash day. What all this curly blue hair, it take a minute.
It only takes a couple of seconds. What are you talking about?
Listen, I wish.
I wish. I've been thinking about, but no, it all of these conversations and like with the lady trying to shade about we don't have to worry about dodging bullets, stuff like that. Those conversations, I find I have to calm myself and really think about how to talk through the entire conversation because my first focus goes on to my granddaughter. Somebody hurts my sons have seen me go on a warpath, but my only grandchild, nobody will be able to catch me fast enough. Nobody.
Oh, I already put girl, I got a Gemini plan. I said, here's the thing. I told one of my friends, I was like, look, if I say a certain phrase, just know to get my mother and my sister out of Dodge. That's all I care about.
Mhm.
That's all I care about.
I can't even tell my
they
sons.
they are the most important people in my life. I need them not in this country.
See,
So
I feel like that part kind of makes me pissed off, right? The part about how we are literally sitting here talking about the elections and all of the funny business around it, when in reality, Americans can't go anywhere without the threat of a mass shooting. You
We
think
can't,
I
and let's
give a
let's
fuck
be even
about
more
who the
care.
fuck used money for what and who was fucking
Nope.
who and who was doing lots of
Nope.
coke? No. Are you going to
Nope.
protect us? If not, why are you here?
I mean, if other countries can turn around and have complete gun bans, it is illegal to own a weapon, 100%. We're not doing it here because all the politicians, and I believe I said this, well, between them and big pharma and stuff like that, you're all in their pockets. That's how some of y'all have so much more money, because let's be clear, Marco Rubio owed money for student debt, and then he went into politics, and he's a horrible politician, and I hope he gets out.
Fire him.
The hiccups.
I will go down to DC, help him pack his motherfucking bags too. It can be.
I mean, I'm just like y'all. If y'all don't start, that's why it's so vital to get in there. We can't scream term limits when we could give them their term limit. We don't have to let these people stay in office. And quite frankly, some of them are our grandparents' age. And it's not that they should be more advisory than actually being in the sole people in the role. Because that's how we almost got Sarah Palin in Congress, because Andrew Young died. He'd been in Congress his entire, since Alaska was a state. He died. She almost got in, and her crazy talking stuff. I was like, nope, y'all better not. I'm not.
But why do you think, because I know y'all were talking about it earlier. I was like, why do y'all think they stopped teaching cursive in schools? Just think about it. Think why they stopped teaching people how to write in cursive, because that was like my primary education, my 1 through 8.
Oh,
I had no choice.
No choice.
At all.
No, they can't read historic documents, but now historic documents are digitized. They don't need to read cursive.
That's what I was going to say. NARA actually has them.
What if the internet is down? What if the internet is down and Google decide to say, you know what? I'm taking all this.
Well, that's why they signed the infrastructure bill. I'm not being a smartass. I'm just saying, that's why they signed it. And it's amazing to me. I know all around my entire area, they've been putting that bill to use like nobody's business. And stuff is being fixed.
And I'm just like, this bill, the infrastructure bill, let's go into that. Here's the thing. And I keep saying it, but people keep saying, oh, that's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream. I was just like, before World War II, I'll say before World War II and even during World War II, all the manufacturing jobs, all the things, you still had people doing apprenticeships. Mm-hmm. You still have people doing that, showing people this is what you need to do this job. But see, now that Black people were starting to get into those jobs too, because if you notice, up until the 1950s and in the 1960s, you saw Black people in those engineering jobs. You saw Black people doing those manufacturing jobs. And then they were just like, oh, well, you need to have this such and such degree in order to do this job.
Moving the goalposts.
And I'm just like, I didn't have to do that when, in the 1950s. I apprentice under this person, and, he taught me all the things about how to do this job, and we were good. Now, is that not the case? What's going on? And I'm just like, see, this is my problem. I'm just like, this infrastructure bill would honestly help people. See, this is why, like I said, y'all don't want me to be run for president. Because see, what would happen?
We can burn it down together. Let's do it.
Because see, what would happen was, the first
I'm with Gary Chambers if y'all ain't see his ad, but go ahead.
I was like, if I said, the first meeting I would have would be between the majority and minority leaders. And I'll be like, here's the thing. Here's your first gate. I'm gonna let you know right now. I don't care if you like me, hate me, want me dead, or whatever. I don't care. That is your business. But what I'm not going to accept from you is that anything that crosses my desk, if it does not benefit the 3.5 billion people and growing living in this country, then I'm not signing it. So you better make sure you have 2/3 of the House and Senate to surpass my veto, because otherwise than that, it ain't getting signed.
And it's always stuck with the Senate. Did you notice that it always gets stuck in the Senate?
Yep.
It'll pass the House, pass the House again.
They're the problematic motherfuckers. Like
And
They
I
are, but
they
there
think
have
because they
rarely
represent
been.
more people that that they're too big for their britches. It's like, no, you are one half of this bitch. Like,
Yeah,
oh, they
and
get on
I
my
don't.
nerves.
and yep, and I said, just so you know, just so we're clear, everybody is getting a copy of this meeting. So the media is getting a copy, everybody in the House and Senate is getting a copy, and the media is getting a copy. So nobody will have any questions about what I said in this room because I'm not playing with you.
I feel
I'm
like
not.
Joe Biden has done some of that. You know how many times he called Manchin up to the main Oval to talk to him when he just wasn't moving on the inflation bill. And for Manchin, he comes from a state that has a heavy reliance on coal and
Of
stuff
course it
like that.
does.
But we can't sustain that way anymore. The earth is literally rejecting us as people and saying, get the fuck out. So we can't
They
sustain
think
like
their
that anymore.
capital is going to compensate for that.
But wait a minute, I have to
Yeah.
let's put it into perspective. It's not rejecting the people of color though. Just saying, just throwing that out there.
Not
But we're not
it's
the
not
ones
it's
fucking it up as bad as them.
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just
Like
throwing that out there.
black people,
They out here
if
getting
black
oil
people
spills on the damn ocean every damn 6 business months. Like, that ain't us.
and
Like,
who did it in I think what did they prove that it was Russia that hit that pipeline in the middle of for Germany that was feeding them gas and stuff? Like I
It wouldn't
just
surprise me.
no, it wasn't a surprise, but I was wishing that I was really hoping, and they couldn't get it to stop too far down. So you just saw it gushing. They don't want to listen. So you have native people that definitely know how to care for this land.
Like
You have black people that know how to care for this land because we were brought here to care for the land. Like wood, lumber, growing things. Like
and I'm just like, it's just amazing. So you mean to tell me you got here way before we did? And you mean to tell me you couldn't learn how to work this? That you had to bring other people over here to work this land for you because you had no idea how to do that?
no, it wasn't that. It was we were stronger, we were more profitable, and they wouldn't have to break a sweat.
Because I'm just like, y'all see, because it just kills me.
Look
Because
how they
y'all
act now.
because they quick to say now, oh, y'all are lazy. But I was like, but y'all wasn't saying that when we was doing the work for you.
That's the other part that really has bothered me.
Because I'm like, make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And I agree. And I'm not a person that's going to turn around and be like, yeah, no, it don't make sense. Let me tell you all the ways it doesn't make sense. When I walk around my downtown area and I see when these buildings were built, I know black people built them. And what do I see? A bunch of white people living in them. Do not turn around and try to divert, make it so natives are savages. It's not natives. They're not violent. Not by nature, they're not.
I'll even to that point of the natives and the other people of color not being the savages. When you look at, because I think Desiree Stevens talks about whiteness being cannibalistic.
Yep.
They don't even
That's
care
true.
about their own people. If we want
They
to go
don't.
to numbers and not talk about rates, because the rates are always higher, but the sheer number of like white people and white children like starving and dealing with homelessness and generational public assistance poverty and being on public assistance, like if they actually were concerned with their whiteness, they would probably fix those things.
But they have them thinking, no, they don't care. They have them thinking that
really a savage, like
them. When I look at some of the stuff, I said, I'm watching Double Talk. I'm watching, like when I watch a news anchor ask that man who's in charge of all the GOP ads and stuff like that, And he did that, knowing Nancy Pelosi's husband just went through that. And they're giving speeches, Marjorie Taylor Greene or
Ugh.
soon to be ex Greene or whatever, saying that they don't care. They're out to, they just care about themselves. He's a person. What is wrong with y'all? Matter of fact, I don't care what's wrong with y'all. Get out. Because once you stop losing the perspective that even though you and the other person are on different ends, I actually posted this video because I thought about it and I was like, where's that clip? It was when people were saying they were afraid of President Obama. They thought it was Arab, they thought it was Kenyan, all this stuff. And McCain, listen, McCain was a hardcore Republican, hardcore conservative. It's why Arizona stayed red for so long, right?
Mhm.
But he treated him with dignity and respect and said, no, he's someone that I have fundamental disagreements with of how we should run things, but he is a decent man. He's a family man. He's a senator. He would not allow that type of talk to happen. And they actually talked about real issues. And I miss hearing people talk about real issues. What is disgusting to me is that these people, you have one side trying to talk about issues and you got people who are doing it with no notes. You got Democrats that know so much about what's going on in their state. They don't even have notes in front of them. But then we have to deal with the ignorant rhetoric of the other side. And it's dangerous talking points. You're fear mongering because you want to hold on to power. What that lady say, I forgot her name. She didn't care what slut or whatever that whatchamacallit got pregnant. She wants that seat in Georgia. What?
And see, here's another thing, and I really want people to. I know I keep saying this, but it needs to be said. Like this budget, y'all knew I was gonna go there. I'm just saying, this budget
I
should not be where it is. It shouldn't. There is no reason that China should own our debt at all.
I mean, we
you
ain't
know
that
who
to them. I mean, look,
sold them the debt, right?
Yeah, I know. I know.
They don't understand. I see a lot more Trump people being a little bit more silent online now. I think they realize that they have big problems, especially when those documents went
that
missing.
pissed me off,
Cause
right?
I'm like, here's the thing. Cause
Huh?
like,
Somebody,
what did you
No,
say,
so that
Coco?
was a part of the thing that pisses me off. Because it's like, again, it goes back to this, I don't have faith in our country and the voters. Like, I mean, I do, but I don't. I need to see it, in black and
Cause,
white to believe it,
cause I'm just like,
but
y'all
it's just
didn't
like,
see this tax plan. Cause this tax plan that man signed
right,
in
it's like,
2019, I'm just like,
you
how did
know
y'all
how
not see
it's
that?
like, it's
he
like a
removed the
president is not
oversight.
just a
He
man.
removed the oversight. He removed the oversight. Every time he passed any type of budget, the first thing he did was remove oversight. That's how the PPP loans ended up in places they didn't belong. He removed the oversight. If you
And,
remove the oversight, there's no one that's tracking where everything is going. Now they're all playing catch up.
and I'm
But I
I'm
need
just
you
like,
to
and
understand the president shouldn't be a person that says things you agree with. You have to
Oh,
look at
absolutely.
what's their domestic policy and what they're going to do.
Yep.
What's their actual agenda? What's their foreign policy? Are they going to put
Yep.
us in the good graces of other countries that are equally as powerful? Or are they going to make us a fucking target? They didn't think about any of that shit. I was like, yes, Donald Trump is a racist and he could really suck my and go to hell in a handbasket. And knowing him, he probably doesn't believe half the shit coming out of his mouth. He's after a coin. But for
Yeah.
everyone to sit here back and vote for this man because he says things on Twitter that you like without checking how he's gonna run the fucking country is asinine.
It was beyond. It
Purely
was
asinine.
beyond.
Like,
And
I'm not
people
voting for
said,
this
I thought it
man.
was a
Like,
joke.
as a first step, I'm not voting for this man. He does not have any political experience. He has not ran anything but his fucking mouth On that
Yep.
level alone, he misses the mark. And then on top of that, he's a sexist, a predator, and a racist.
Yep.
Really?
And all that was
That's
proven
that's
on paper.
And I'm just like, you guys gonna and see, Coco, I know you said you lost your faith in people. I get it, honey. I do. But see see, maybe y'all should vote for me for president. See, because now, have y'all seen the movie? Have y'all seen the movie Dave?
Yes.
I have.
You need to
It's
watch
been
it.
a long time, but yes.
You need to watch it. Watch it. Go look it up and watch it.
That part, I know what part you're talking about.
You know where I'm going.
I know what part you're talking about.
Because I said, see, here's the thing. I'm bringing in the best tax people in the history of the world. And I said, I need you to fix this. Tell me where the leaks are, because at this particular moment, there is no reason we should be. How much are we in debt now?
Actually, we're not as far as in debt as we were. That has gone, the debt ceiling, it's gone down under Biden, because I've been following those numbers. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's lower, but I can't remember how much lower.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up online. I'm there now. Hold on.
But you had a tax program that was only, and what everybody kept saying is this is a very bad program and it's only going to benefit the wealthy, and that's exactly what it did.
Because I'm just
and
like,
he was fine with that.
Yeah, because it benefited him too.
Well, he's also not as stupid. See, the problem is Bob Woodward.
Oh, there she is. She got it for me. So it's 31 trillion. Oh, Jesus.
Jeez, goddamn. Okay.
So wait a minute. So you mean to tell wait, can you pull up how many billionaires we have living in this country?
Some of them making songs talking about, I'm gonna quit my job, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, my bad.
No, it's fine. I just want to know if she can pull up how many billionaires live in this country. I really want to know that number. Because you mean to tell me, but see, they don't even have physical cash money. They trading off assets that they got. That's what they do.
And some of them, I think the other part is, I think what we're seeing it with Elon Musk and like Trump trying to fight his taxes once again. He's back to trying.
So wait, Warren Buffett has dropped to 4?
720. We gotta come up a little bit. 720. That's how many we have in this country.
So you mean to tell me that y'all can't lend the government some money to get us out of debt? The shade.
Here's the thing. I posted a video the other day. So I have actually been on these types of calls, and I will leave it at that. But there are quarterly business calls that happen company-wide where you dial in, and someone from these companies recorded these calls and dropped them off at to the media. You're talking about Tyson chicken. You're talking about all different types. It don't even get started on the profits that oil businesses have made. Why? Because they are taking the money and pocketing it. They are taking the money and paying themselves. They're not passing it along to consumers. So the inflation, there's a checks and balances that's missing here, and that's why Biden is saying wartime profiteering. This is why people have to get out and vote. Right.
This is exactly what they're doing, because there's no way you could tell me all those PPP loans that have gone out. And I love that he put them all on blast. I loved every minute of it, because he's like,
and then got on TV and did it. I was like, oh yes, I love it.
Whoever was running the Twitter for I was like, yo. And then on top of that, to have Biden just literally just like, well, this happened and their loans are forgiven and this person took out this amount of money.
Dollar amounts.
I was like, yo, I had to fade his shield a couple of times.
And then when he started talking about, oh, they get on TV and they want to talk about, Republicans want to talk about, oh, we don't agree with this, but I got letters on my desk asking for the money. What?
I'm gonna just if
I
I
can't,
can't
I
say
can't,
nothing.
I can't. This whole posturing us against them is not helpful to us as a country. It's not.
And see, here's the thing. Imagine if every worker in every business decided to stop working.
Corporate America would collapse. Everything would collapse, actually. In
within
a day, everything would collapse.
Imagine if all the private prisons stopped taking orders. Come on, come on, come on, come
I
on.
wish the private prisons
There
would, but
shouldn't
they
be a private prison. There should not be one private prison in this bitch.
But Core Civic Inc. and Geo Group are two, and they are traded on NASDAQ.
Because they
And
make
they do
over
everything
$1
from
billion.
housing. Yep, they do everything from housing to back to parole, probation, all of it, end to end, juvenile and adult.
So I'm just like, because like
We
watching
should talk about
13.
how if America wasn't so racist and white supremacist, we wouldn't have a need for privatized prisons. We'd have enough workers.
Is this on
and enough
YouTube?
funds to go around. What?
Is that question from YouTube?
No, that was for my brain.
Oh,
What
okay.
happened?
Oh, what'd you say then? Say it again.
I'm
I said
sorry.
we should have a conversation about how if America wasn't so racist and white supremacist, we wouldn't have a need for privatized prisons because you would have enough people to work in because you wouldn't be arresting this many people.
Correct. And we are the highest group that gets exonerated. Why? Because they do half-ass jobs. They just worried about putting a body in the daggone jail so that they don't have to pay that privatized they have to meet a quota. And this
Yep.
is something that people don't know. You got to
That-
meet a quota when you go into agreement with privatized jails. If you don't meet that quota, you are paying a lot of money out of pocket that the area that they're in, they can't afford. So
But-
why do you have a bunch of people in there for the most petty of stuff, like traffic court? Why are you doing a failure to appear and double the fine and send it to them? What?
Like look at Khalif Browder. Got accused of stealing a backpack.
They had him in jail for 3 years.
3 years because he
And
decided
most of it
not to
solitary.
take the plea.
And most of the time was spent in solitary confinement. I think that was the case. Coco, you would probably know better than me, but I think that was one of the cases that had Barack Obama being like, no more. Like, you can't have people.
He was 16 at the time, and they accused him of stealing a backpack, which he did not do. And they had him in Rikers for 3+ years. And Rikers is basically like county. So you go there waiting for your trial or waiting to, set bail. So he had been in there and his bail wasn't set. So he was in Rikers, which is supposed to be a temporary place. And he is a minor and they're holding him here with adults. And I wish that the series that was done on it wasn't done by Weinstein. I really wish we would watch.
Wait,
it
which
one was it done by Weinstein?
It was when I had to watch it in law school.
I would still tell.
Wait, the one on
the
one on Netflix.
It's either on Netflix or Hulu. It is.
It was on Netflix.
Credits. It's definitely a Weinstein Corporation production.
Hold on.
But you know what though? I can't.
And it was just so sad. He had, for the most time, been in solitary because he had to say they had actually interviewed him before his suicide, for the documentary. And he would say, I would have to just fight because if you don't fight, they're just going to beat you. And he had gotten totally beaten on a few occasions.
And not just by the prisoners, by the guards too.
The guards.
Yeah, there was video.
Nothing, because they're playing the game too. They go in, we can talk about how people go into corrections and all that because they want to have a power trip and all that, but they were just engrossed in it too. And he just it was kind of a safety plan that had negative mental effects. And then
I mean, you could see it in his face. Like you could
he
just
just was
see that
so
everything was haunting
broken.
him.
And
Because they were
to,
like,
to
how
come
dare
to
you take
it
a plea,
about how
not take the plea?
Yeah.
because he didn't do it. And they're like, either like, oh yeah, you're right. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? So it was very, very sad. And
Oh, here it
part
is.
of
Here it
Rikers,
is.
like
why
you
I went
said,
into government and studying, I inadvertently studied criminal justice.
but if we
And
get to a point where, you know, Rikers was
Ah,
built
she's
in the
right.
1800s.
I
Rikers
forgot.
was built in Rikers was built in the 1800s. It was a Civil War training area. It was never supposed to be a place for long-term anything. You have people sitting in Rikers waiting for a trial that have been there 6, 7, 10 years. You're stealing people from their communities, and they ain't even have a trial because it's a jail. And at this point, it needs
it's
to be shut
just,
down because the pictures I have obtained of the inside of Rikers is bad.
but see, the
It
thing
should
about
not
it
be
is
open.
Rikers really isn't all that unique. It's unique
No.
because they have so many people there and they're being held for so long, but horrible prison conditions, that's countrywide.
That's you. That, yeah,
All 50
that's
states.
national.
Like
That's
Yeah.
the
nationwide.
way,
So
I mean, we can get into the comparative match to other countries. Okay, cool. Okay, they may not be sleeping on concrete floors, some of them, because some of them are sleeping on concrete floors with no blankets and no pillow because the prison is
Yeah.
overcrowded and they don't have enough resources or food to go around.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know if we have, this may need to be a multi-part conversation because I don't think we have the time to go through the reasons why our prison system is the way that it is and the actual horrors of the prison system.
and see
And it
here
is horrifying.
and see that
For
but see here,
everybody, especially for
Yeah.
women, like,
Oh my. No.
and see here's the
uh,
thing. Here's the thing, and I think it comes to down to a bare minimum of we don't know exactly what rights we hold when we're arrested. They'll give you quote unquote the Miranda rights, but you don't know exactly what you can or cannot do. They don't have any clue. So they just say whatever is going on and they don't realize that they're literally entrapping themselves sometimes. They don't
Yeah.
get, and that comes down to there's no education about what exact rights you have when you're arrested. Like they don't tell you, oh, if you say I want a lawyer, that everything has to stop. Like any questioning, anything, or any part of that conversation no longer has to keep going because you've asked for your quote unquote free lawyer if you can't afford one.
but see, here's where I have to come in and lose faith in humanity a little bit.
Yep. Come on, say it.
Because people have the urge, even people that mean well, they have the urge to want to defend themselves.
Oh
And
God,
even, and
That's true.
true.
especially if you have done nothing.
Yep.
Those are the people that want to talk the most because they're trying to explain to them why they have it wrong and they don't understand. They don't give a fuck if they have it wrong.
Say it one more time
No,
for the
they
people in the
don't.
back. Say it one more
They
Yep.
time.
don't
Louder.
give a fuck if they have it wrong. They want to close the case.
Yep.
That's it. And
So
and
if you are a
Listen,
person that's being picked up off the street and you've done nothing, you're an easy target. You're easy prey.
yes.
They're trying to go home for dinner.
because look at when they see us there when they had those kids in there because they were children. Look at when they had them in there. They didn't give them to the bath. They didn't let them go to the bathroom. They didn't let them eat. They didn't give them any water. They
For
tortured those kids.
hours.
Yep.
For
For
Didn't tell their
hours.
parents where they
hours.
were. Nothing.
Won't for hours. For
And
And what that
hours.
reminds me of is there's such a history in all those things happened. Y'all remember I saw a story. I was 15. It was 15 young girls that were trying to buy movie tickets to a segregated theater, and they got locked in a underground like cellar that didn't have any it was dirt floors, everything else. Their parents had no idea where they were for the longest time, and then one day they let them go. These are the things that continue to happen. That's why when we said at the beginning, when we were talking, that we can't look at our folks and say we're not going to vote.
Like,
We can't look at our people
because if
and
if
say
you
we're not
ask
going to
me,
participate.
in all 50 states, I know we were kind of discussing qualified immunity, and we could talk about that too at some point.
oh God, that
But
needs to go away.
it should, in all 50 states, it should be illegal for the police to lie to you when you're in custody.
Absolutely.
It should
Absolutely.
be illegal, but it's not. And they do it every fucking day.
Yep.
That's how they trap you. They can legally lie to you.
And see,
And that's just how it is. Like,
SCOTUS just made it. Didn't SCOTUS just make it easier for that to happen? Another reason why people need to vote.
Yeah,
and see,
exactly.
I'm still on the verge of I'm still on the train of all four of those people who lied to get into that position need to be fired. Just saying.
Oh, all four.
All four.
And can we say impeach, and can someone impeach Clarence Thomas?
Yep.
Go.
That man is up to his eyeballs.
Because he's
if
like
they don't
he's committing perjury.
Yeah.
He's committing perjury. He's literally
I thought he was
allowing
gonna let Lady
people,
Graham go.
I was just like, you mean to tell me you're letting people commit perjury in order to not implicate yourself and your wife in this mess? That's what you're willing to do. Okay.
I think we're passing that part though, because I think it's getting Mark Meadows I think they're getting him, or they issued a subpoena. None of these aren't people that no one should want in office. They're all entangled in some type of weave of mess. They thought that they would turn it into a white nationalist, extreme Christian, extreme Christianity place, like Russia, stuff like that, where they're in their business and they tell them what to think and how to move and everything else. Because I really, after watching some of Trump's move, I'm not a conspiracy person, but I'm also not a stupid woman. He made the moves he made because he's been bought and paid for. And what they offered him was the United States. What they didn't realize,
it's not a conspiracy theory when you can track the conspiracy while following the dollar.
Just follow the money. Following the money has always been a saying for my family. Follow the money. You'll find out what's going on.
You know what? That reminds me something. I want to touch on this. Let's touch on this for like 5 minutes and then we can wrap up. I want to get back. Get this out. We got to talk about what happens after election day. What should we expect? What should we do if we're seeing things not line up? So I want to discuss that because you said track the money. And I'm like, that right there after election day, if you really want to know who's doing what, track the money.
Mm-hmm. Well, I already started tracking. I have the names of billionaires. I called out what one half of Nike, co-founder of Nike, had been doing in Oregon, the way that he's been donating to the 3 different campaigns in order to maneuver around to get it to flip to be red. So I've been tracking that money as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that should be a no-go. All of that happening should be a no-go.
And see, I don't mind you donating money. Don't get me wrong. Hey, you want to donate your money? That's you. But there should be a line. The line needs to be clear. I'm giving you the money to do whatever you want to do with your campaign. And that's it. That you don't need to be sitting there. Well, hey, I got some bills I need you to write for me, and because I'm giving you this money, here's
the campaign donations turn into the lobbyist donations.
And that's what I'm saying. Yep. Like I said, that's another part. That's another part I will go into if I was president. I was just like, I'd be like, Jesus, turn over the table. If you ain't got a Senate or House badge to be up in this piece, get out. And
That
for
should
the
also be very illegal. We should not be
It
allowed.
should
I mean, there are
be.
some laws that, say you can't take an outright bribe, but taking money and voting for the interest of the person that gave you the money,
Or having your wives or your other mates do stock option stuff for you.
just saying.
they do.
I'm just like,
I'm
look
not
at
dumb. I pay attention to everything. I'm
like look at the
They-
stocks
they
that people
think we
have.
slow.
Look at the
think we
stock options that have gone up and gone down due to the way people are voting in the Senate and House.
I think
It
that's why
isn't a
Nancy
coincidence.
Pelosi, it's not, that's why Nancy Pelosi has introduced that bill, which is not popular with everyone, but saying something about stock options. It was more Republicans that allowed themselves to get caught. Like you said, Democrats dressed themselves up pretty, but they missed the mark when they failed to pass and codify laws that eventually catch up. And now we're in the mess that we're in now.
Because like I'm
But
still
even having to write laws about stock options
Shouldn't even be a thing.
is first of all, it's very telling about what the fuck y'all are doing with y'all's time and energy.
Yep.
But it's like, we shouldn't even have to have these laws to fucking begin with, because you should be so focused on representing your constituents than to be there to be self-serving.
and that's
I mean, they're called
the bad
public
thing.
servants.
Yeah, they're
They ain't
publicly serving
nobody
themselves.
Thank you.
They're publicly serving themselves. That's
And if
exactly
we
But
were
what's
that's why
paying
happening.
we vote to
if we were
kick them
really
out.
paying
Let's.
attention- If we were really paying attention, we could really just like really flip some tables, like for real, for real.
I'm
But
telling
they're
you.
I mean, I
banking
feel
on
like
us
that's my
not
goal
knowing.
next.
They're banking on us not knowing. They're not banking on us not knowing our rights, not knowing how the Constitution works, not knowing how public officials work. It's like they're literally a public employee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, show
Like-
up and fire them. Fire.
And that's how I feel that I'm with you. I am like, I sat down, my youngest and I, he's getting more into, he's 23, he's getting more into the political stuff, and he's paying attention because I'm so loud about it.
Well,
He's actually caught some of my videos and stuff.
now you weren't cursing. Now you weren't cursing, and then were you, mama?
Now he already know, because I will cuss him out.
Oh,
No, I won't. I don't cuss out my children. I'm actually a different type of mom. They're adults. They live on their own. They pay their own bills. I do not tell my sons how to run their lives. They run their own lives. They are adults. One of them has a child. He's a very good father. I'm not telling two grown people that I already raised to adulthood what they should be doing. I'm a counselor, like their guide, but outside of that, I don't want that responsibility.
she's
But
like, nope, I did my job.
I
My job
don't.
is done.
My job is done. Is listen. They check in. They're always around. I feel like I'm being treated like the old folk. I'm 44. I ain't old, but
See,
I don't go places without them.
and see, here's the thing. I'll be like, see, here's my thing, sir. I'm only supposed to spoil and send it back. That's all I got.
Now
for you.
that I have full carte blanche on. I have full carte blanche on spoiling my granddaughter. She can have whatever she wants. My son don't fight me on it. He knows I'm not going to give her but so many things, but I get to be grandma. That part is fun. But the rest, I need people to be out here getting educated. And yes, the topics are difficult, and it has encouraged the platforms that I have, because I realize how much people don't know that I happen to know just because of what I've been doing for so long.
And I'm just like, see, what we got to get away from is the fact that, oh, well, we have to, no, see, don't give me the talk.
No.
Talking time is done. I need action and I need things to get done. And if you ain't going to do it, please move out of my way so I can get it to the next person who can do it for me. Because that's
I ain't
where
even
I'm
saying
at right
please.
now.
I ain't even saying please. After I saw a whole
told-
entire insurrection, I ain't saying please, bitch, move. Sorry.
Cause I started my TikTok in January, the first day of January. And like the next day, 6 days late, 5 days later, we had this mess. And then Lindsey
Oh.
Graham was on the thing, and I have a TikTok of me sitting there eating my food and just be like, wait, I got to put myself on camera so you can see my face.
You knew
Lindsey
he was
gotta
lying.
sit his ass down somewhere.
That's the other one. I'm not gonna lie to you. To find out that Meadows also interfered in Georgia's election, he used different word. He used his own code switch to not really to say I was, but I really wasn't because I didn't say. He involved himself when he made that phone call.
Mhm.
Lindsey Graham having to go down and testify. I'm not down for watching our elected officials have to go testify because they broke laws. Get out of office. You shouldn't
And they
even be
still
in
there.
it.
They didn't. Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
Nothing has happened to them yet.
Getting their coins, all that. Like, I can't.
They should not be allowed. I am tired of saying there needs to be a law, a rule. There needs to be a law, and they need to codify it, because the other issue that we're looking at right now, people do not vote, is Trump as part of a stunt. This is a stunt. He is pulling on the 14th, is that he's going around. That's when he's supposed to testify. He's kind of muddling around that he's going to say he's going to run for 2024. You a whole criminal.
Held down somewhere.
Because
No, he's serious.
Because I thought the Republican Party told him, look, if you even think about that, you can forget about us paying your bills. I was like, oh, Jesus.
They're already paying his bills.
That's
Do you know
cool,
all
but
of the money he's raised?
So many numbers. He got so many followers. It's like,
I'm like, how did he con y'all out of y'all own money? I'm like, y'all are dumb.
They should have known he was a con man. How you got quote unquote successful businesses and have to file bankruptcy this many damn times? It don't make no damn sense.
Oh, I cannot.
He's never been a business person. If it wasn't for his first wife, who was very smart, if it wasn't for his first wife, he would have tanked a long time ago. I mean, we're talking about a woman that made sure she got every single penny, and her prenup was like rock solid.
Here's the thing. I want to know what's in that casket, because she wanted to be cremated. That was her. That was on the record, and she did a thing with Barbara Walters, and still nobody has said nothing about that will. I want to know what's in that casket.
Your kids, as your kids, how do y'all? Has anybody noticed that, except for Trump Jr., which, dude, slow down on the sniffing, but
he's not.
His other children have gotten fairly quiet after their mom died, and they had to testify for Letitia James. They've gotten very quiet.
Somebody talked.
I guess those are the smart ones.
Somebody talked. That's
well, you got one guy that talked already. I mean, their whole organization is going down. Letitia James is going to make sure that it'll never, ever, ever, ever come up for air again. She's trying to bury and make sure it stays buried.
Because what did what's her face say? Because we are never, ever, ever getting back together. She is making sure that.
Mm-hmm.
Who was doing that?
I gotta
Letitia James.
So he sued her for intimidation.
Boy, bye.
I encourage people. I encourage people to vote. Vote.
So let's do
if
the
you don't
encouragement
know.
round. Because I have to go here. I have to go.
No, I have to go right
back to unpacking and all that jazz. And my mama here and my grandfather here. So.
Whew. You in trouble?
I'm not over here being spoiled, so you know.
I was getting ready to say that's the grandparents.
Listen, okay?
It doesn't change as they get older.
I'm the firstborn too, so
my first is she gonna
child. I'm over here being
spoiled. Grandparents. That's different.
Lord, I can't.
Let's do 30 seconds of if someone was on the fence and they were teetering on, should I vote? Should I not vote? What would you say to push them to voting?
Ladies first.
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first. You go
So
first. 'Cause
if
mine's a
I
question.
were talking to a person, um, of course, I would probably question them about like why they wouldn't vote and probably tailor it to them. But I would just say this is a too pivotal of a moment for you to just opt out. It's no
True.
longer an option to just let everyone else handle it, even if you may have grievances against politicians, and definitely inform them that there are more things than just politicians on the ballot. Even if you want to just disregard them, write in Harambe for all the write-in candidates, that's fine too. However, there are some very important things that are not people that are being considered.
Mhm.
So if you would like to see a better future for yourself in the foreseeable future, for your children's children, if that's something that you want to do, or for someone that you love in the future, I would encourage them to vote. Even if it doesn't go the way that you want it to, that's not the point. It's not football where it's no wins and losses. This is politics, babes. But let's participate, at least to
Yeah,
show that we're employing what it is that we actually want.
I agree. I would have to say that realistically, when they say democracy is on the ballot, if you like your own freedom to practice your own religion, to have autonomy over your own body, if you enjoy your freedoms, period, as a person within these borders, democracy is on the ballot. And you don't have to agree with everybody, but if you want it to stay a democracy, then everyone must participate, or it does not stay a democracy. What do we turn into? It could look like Russia. It could look like Japan. It could look not Japan, China. It could look like North Korea. The reason why I say that is because look what Trump has done. So if you want your democracy at minimum to stay in place so you can freely disagree, that is the most important part right now. We have a lot of work to do, but democracy is definitely the main target. And having 299 deniers, election deniers on the ballot is a scary thought.
So
Who's
my
going to be?
so my closing argument would be, yes, I said closing argument.
Her.
would be what kind of legacy are you leaving for your children? What is
Mm,
what is it that you want them to remember or think that is still good in this country if you don't vote? Because you're already teaching them at this particular point that your vote doesn't count, it doesn't matter, it's not important, there's no need for it. And if that's the legacy you want to leave for them, to leave them at the clutches of other people to tell them what they should or should not be doing, then go right ahead. Keep doing what you're doing. But if that's not what you want for them, if you want them to still retain their free thinking mind at the end of the day, then I suggest you go to the poll and you vote, regardless of whether you like the person that's running. But remember what's at stake, because I'm telling you right now, if you vote for any of these Republicans out here, those rights and those freedom of thoughts that you want to think will no longer be allowed. And that's just where it is at the end of the day. You have to think about what your freedom to disagree is what's up for grabs today.
true.
And that's that on that. And with that being
Yep.
said, y'all got 2 days, homie. Get your mind right, get your snacks ready, get your water ready, get your walking shoes. Okay.
Yep.
Make sure you educate yourself about your ballot. Go to your state or your county's voter.
I got links in my
website.
bio.
Okay. His
I
study
got
up.
links
She
in
got
my
links in her bio.
I
Make
got
sure you
links in
have
my
all your
bio.
legal documents too. Make sure all your legal
Sure.
documents are up to date,
Yep.
because they are not playing out here in these streets.
They are not. So
They're
go
not
out, vote.
Yep.
Go
vote,
out.
know where your polling places. They've changed them. They've moved them around.
Be
And
there
don't forget
early.
disabled. Be there or take a day off. You might be sick. I feel like there's a
And
cold going
listen,
around.
your job can't fire you for going out to vote. Just like with jury duty, they can't fire you for doing that. That's your right as an American citizen.
I think I think just like how schools have the day off, working should have the day off on that day.
We should.
Because
Everything should be shut down.
because that's an important thing that needs to be done, and they need to stop. One last thing: stop holding town meetings on Wednesdays when you know Black people cannot attend, because that ain't cute and it ain't kosher.
Thank you.
Sure. But thank y'all for joining me. I really enjoyed this conversation,
you.
and I
No
cannot
problem.
wait to see the final numbers on Wednesday through Friday, because sometimes, especially down here around the Florida, our numbers don't be coming in the day of. We gotta recount and count again. So
I'm not gonna lie. I anticipate some lawsuits immediately flying out because you have deniers who are gonna.
It should be a interesting week.
It should be. I'm prepared.
I'm hoping
Not
it
really.
flips blue, darling. I'm hoping for you. I'm
Ooh,
hoping it flips
I hope
blue.
so too.
And see, this is why I said we need a Stacey Abrams in all 50 states here. Just saying, just throwing that out there, because she was like,
just Satan ain't working.
it ain't working. It ain't working. And I'm a little bit mad because I'm just like, Stacey, you couldn't have just cloned yourself 50 times so that way everybody got one. Because she was only saying, "Oh, we just want one seat in Georgia," and then they was just like, "Nah, we don't want to give you that." She said, "Fine, I'm gonna take the whole thing." Now what?
Right, we're gonna take the whole state now. You was playing. Now we gotta flex on you.
Because
But
I'm really hoping.
See y'all later.
Yes.